Hi guys, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I have my debt update for July of 2022. I'm going to be talking about all of the payments I made, as well as any debt that I accumulated, because spoiler alert, there is a little bit of accumulated debt this month. So if you're interested in seeing all of that, just keep on watching. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is we accumulated some debt this month. We have been doing some home projects around the house. We had been cash flowing it as much as possible, but ultimately we ended up having to put some of the project stuff on a credit card. It's not the end of the world. At a previous point in my budget journey, my debt-free journey, whatever you want to call it, I would have kicked myself for this, but in the time of life that we're in the circumstances with the economy and everything, paying off debt right now, it just isn't my number one priority. I would have liked to not be going backwards, but we had some stuff that had to get taken care of. Unfortunately, we didn't have the cash saved for it. We decided rather than use our emergency fund, which would not have covered it, actually, all of it, we would just put it on a credit card with 0 interest, and, you know, it is what it is. So we had to put new windows in my house. Well, we didn't have to. We chose to, because our electric bill is just astronomical. Our air conditioner has not been able to keep up. We actually thought we were going to have to replace the air conditioner altogether. We've decided not to do that for now, but we did replace the windows to try to help with the insulation of the house, and we had to fix a bunch of vent work like underneath our house with the system. A couple of our air vents were just completely disconnected, which explains why our air conditioner was running and running and running, and our house was never getting any cooler. All of the cool air was going under our mobile home, so we had to spend some money to fix that. We're hoping the combination of those two things will really help overall with our electric bill long term. You guys know, if you watch my budget videos, that we're paying like $200 a month for a single wide mobile home for electric every month, and that's just crazy. So we're really hoping that these couple of things will help in the long run. We did it as affordably as possible, but it was, you know, household projects is one of our sinking funds, but we just didn't have enough money in there to take care of it. And so we had to make the decision, and we decided to take the hit to our credit. So that's the bad news. The good news is we still only have 2 cards with balances, and we're hopeful that it's not going to put us too far behind in the long run. It could have been a lot worse. There's actually still a few things that we need to do around the house, so you may well see a debt update for July that includes a debt total that's going up rather than down as well, but we've kind of made peace with it. It is what it is, and now we're going to talk about it. But before we talk about the bad news, or before we kind of round out the bad news with the total debt that we accumulated in July, let's talk about the debt we paid. So, we always talk about my credit cards. We don't really talk about like my car loan, our camper loan, that sort of thing. We don't talk totals there because that's not like our focus in paying off debt. We're really focusing on credit cards right now. We did make minimum payments there, and our debt overall went down in terms of our UTV that we purchased, in terms of our car payment, our camper, all of that went down, so that's good news. And this Ashley card, the balance went down on this as well. So we just made the minimum payment. Let me zoom you guys in a touch. But even so, this balance went down. So on 6/17, we did make the minimum payment on our Ashley card. And this card likely we are not going to focus on trying to pay off even when we kind of get back on track, because it's one of these things where it's zero interest. The payments are broken down so that if we pay that $156 a month for the term of the loan, it'll all be paid off. We won't pay any interest. So while it is a debt and we are going to track it, I'm kind of thinking of it as more like a bill. We're not really going to try to pay extra to this unless we manage to pay off the other card in our rotation before the length of this loan, and then we'll tackle this. For now, we're just going to kind of plan to pay the minimum payment for the foreseeable future, which is $156. There's no interest on this card, so that is the true amount that went to the loan. $2,834.80 is what we had last month when we checked in. We paid the $156, so that means there is $2,678.80 remaining on this card. So we've paid it down from the $3,614.80 we started with down to $2,678, just kind of chipping away at it little by little. So that does mean we're going to be able to color in our chart a little bit. 2, 6, 7, 8. So we'll be able to color in right to this line here. So 2 more lines on this chart. And that's all the coloring we're going to do, because I actually just pulled the chart right out for this first Merchants Bank card, which, if you haven't figured out by now, that's where we accumulated the debt. We'll go back to coloring that chart in when we're back to paying that card off and not using it to accumulate more debt, you know. But for now, let's color this in. So for June, I want to use this bright fun color here. This is all in Japanese, so I can't tell you exactly what color this is, but it sure is pretty, isn't it? We'll use this one, and we've done a lot of pink. Maybe this bright fun orange. These are like tropical kind of colors. That's what I think of for June, so that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to color in these 2 lines. If you're not familiar with the way I do my debt-free charts, I like to choose a different color for each month so I can see at a glance what progress I made when. So January we did blue, February was red and pink, March was this green and blue, April was this purple combo, May was pink and orange, and now June with these tropical colors. And it just kind of keeps me motivated and on track. Did I just do that wrong? Yes, I did. You know what, let's just color the whole thing this one color, because I messed it all up. Not as much fun as the combination, but that's what I get for trying to talk and color at the same time. So 2 more lines of this debt paid off. It's a small win, but we're still going to celebrate it, even though we're not exactly like thriving when it comes to our debt payoff lately. I'm going to be happy with that little bit of progress. And now we're going to flip to the first Merchants Bank card. So I actually don't even know how bad it is. I haven't looked at it. I know that my husband went to Menards. He went to Lowe's. We did use some cash for some things that we took from our sinking funds. So I honestly don't even have any idea. I think that he used cash at Lowe's, and the Menards for the actual windows and the shutters and everything that we had bought went on this card, but we're going to kind of find out together. I'm just going to open up the statement and see where we're at. So, when we last checked in, we had $5,499.52 in debt on this first Merchants Bank card. Yeah, now we have significantly more than that. So, looking at my statement, it looks like we did put some items from Lowe's on here and Menards. We do still have 1 more window to purchase, 2 more shutters, and probably some other, you know, things, silicone, whatever else you need to replace windows. I know my husband did throw a little bit of cash to our neighbor that helped him as well. That came out of our sinking fund. So This isn't all that we spent on that project. For one, we're not done, and for two, quite a bit of it came out in cash, but this is kind of what we have on credit. So, first and foremost, on 6/17, we did make the minimum payment, which likely now will go up since we've accumulated more debt and our balance is now higher than our starting balance was. But at the time that we made the payment, it was $58. And so that took it from $5,499.52 down to $58. This card is on a 0 interest promotion for another year or two. So those are true numbers. We don't have to account for any interest, and that took us down to $5,441.52. Then on the 19th, my husband went to Menards to buy the windows and whatnot. So that was $1,394.71. So these are all payments. This was a charge. And so that took the total up $5,441.52 plus $1,394.71 to $6,836.23. Okay, so that was Menards, and then we had a Lowe's transaction. So that was on 6/26. Lowe's. So it's been like an ongoing project. He's been tackling like 1 or 2 windows at a time, mostly doing the work himself. And he's not quite done yet, but we're getting there. And actually, I believe this Lowe's, this $78.25 was for something that he needed to fix the vents. So we live in a mobile home. We had 3 of our vent connections that were completely shredded. My husband thinks that we had cats get up under our house and pull them down, or might just be with age, whatever it is. He had to buy all new like vent tubing and replace a lot of it. But our air conditioner seems to be working much better now, so at least that's good news. So if we add that $78.25, that brings our balance as of right now to $6,914.48. So not the direction we want to go in, right? We always want to make progress, chip away at our debt, and the idea of this whole budget journey, debt-free journey, whatever you want to call it, is to pay off this debt. But with every journey, you know, there's stumbles along the way, and that's where we are right now. We probably could have put off this project until we saved up enough cash to do it in cash, but, you know, with 100 degrees days and my air conditioner running constantly and not getting my house any lower than 90 degrees, we needed to do something to make ourselves comfortable, you know, so we went ahead and made the decision to do that. If you find in your budget journey that you have to take a step back or even 10 steps back, don't beat yourself up over it. You know, we're all human, we're all doing the best we can. You know, it's all part of the process. So if you take anything away from this video, have it be that. So obviously I don't have a debt-free chart to color. In fact, I took the chart right out. We will focus on paying this off again at some point, but it's just not kind of the point in our journey that we're at right now. We're just doing the best we can. So I hope you enjoyed this debt update, even though we're going a little bit backwards. Hopefully, you know, you understand that that just is how it is sometimes. I thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.